Hi, it's Joy and today I'm going to be watching Stargirl Season 1, Episode 11, Shining Night. We've got 3 more episodes left in the season already. That's flown by. I'm obviously loving this show, and given the title, and given that I know some people have been theorising different people that the janitor could be, and one of those people was Shining Night. Now, I have not read the comics, so I know nothing about that, but obviously he has his sword and all his stuff, so that seems to me like we're finally going to get some answers about the janitor, and I'm here for it. I know there are people theorising he could be Corny's dad, he could be all sorts of people, but I am ready for this. And I'm still really sad after the last episode. I mean, there was a lot of debate in my comments whether or not Henry was alive, basically, and it's kind of one of those things where I think for plot purposes he probably is alive, just because they spent so long developing his character, but for not getting my heart broken, even though it's season 1, I feel a lot about these characters. I'm not going to be like, oh, Henry's alive, just because then in case he's not, I won't be too crushed. And I am often someone that I like to rewrite endings, so I'm quite quick to be like, oh, they're fine. So I'm kind of going to be aware of the fact that at the very least, the characters are going to think he's dead. So kind of going forward, that will be at least something in their mindset that, you know, yes, again, by lost Joey now, like, he's sacrificed himself, that maybe that will be the wake-up call for the kids, that things aren't all fun and games. Not that they think it is, but, you know, that maybe they need to do a bit more planning and recon before they just charge in. But I am excited for this show. Like I said, 3 episodes left. This one is going to be ramping up into the penultimate one, which is going to ramp to the finale. And I'm pretty sure that the final 2 episodes are called Stargirl and Stripe Parts 1 and 2 or something, which implies that, like, this could be really building up into, like, a 2-part finale. So I am ready for this show. If you would like to check out the unedited reaction, please do go to my Patreon, where you can find it in all the other shows I react to, and there will be a poll coming soon. The poll is slightly delayed from when I was going to do it earlier this week, but I have been feeling terrible for the last few days, so yes. I just need to watch Stargirl, let's go.
Looking for a gallant white steed with
Aren't
fire
we
in
all?
its eyes.
Crazy old freak!
Oh.
Now go on, get out of here before I call the cops!
There's no reason to treat people like that. Like, if you really think he's mentally disturbed, you can be kind. Oh, what's he remembering now?
I saw his lance.
Yep.
Starman Squire.
Oh, Squire.
Stripes, he can help me.
Again! Oh my gosh, that's so creepy! Is this Sam? Because if it is Sam, what a dickhead showing up, like, 8 years later, or how long it's been.
Take Mike.
I'm not gonna let you stay here alone.
No.
And until you
come with
decide
them.
to leave.
Just showing up out of the blue, men.
Right, of course, Sam. Well,
She's not happy. You don't just turn up like this after you break your daughter's heart and don't show up for years.
I know it's been a while.
Ugh. Sorry, I want to murder this man.
Everything all right?
It's not, it can't be.
I know she wanted to believe that her dad was a hero and that the reason he didn't
Hey,
have anything to do with her was because he had no choice rather than because he was a dickhead.
I just want to make sure you're alright.
She's not alright. Henry died and now this?
I want to talk to Pat.
Oh, corny. There's still Stargirl.
Henry killed. And Joey.
Courtney, you didn't kill anyone.
You didn't, and Joey was nothing to do.
Right?
Is that why he's
Mike, not now! Please!
Oh, Mike, I'm sorry. You deserve better than this. But they are having a situation that you don't understand.
What did I do wrong?
Oh, Mike. He's breaking my heart here.
Sure it is.
He doesn't believe you anymore.
I will find my mind.
Oh. Where is his mind? Has something happened to, like, take it from him? Or is he just, like, having issues?
Where have you been?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking for an excuse. I just want to know the truth.
Yeah, exactly. You have to explain. She has that right.
It's fair. If you didn't resent me, I'd...
Answer the question.
Your favorite? We made a snowman out of
This is
cedar.
meaningless. Where were you for the past 8 years? You're just playing on the heartstrings, being emotionally manipulative, and I hate you.
Hey,
Do not fall for this.
I just needed to say that.
Emotionally manipulative dads that get teary-eyed when they're trying to make you feel like they're saying sorry when they're not.
Wait, where's Yolanda?
Not grieving.
She wanted to go to church before school to pray for Henry.
I'm getting
Just
closer
going
on this
through a
path.
lot.
I've read every dumb chemistry.
Oh, that's our janitor. Hey.
Why the hell is he carrying a sword?
Need your help.
Do you recognize him? Oh no, they're children. And that's not Snake Man.
Justin? Is that you?
This
Yes,
freak.
Yeah. I need your help.
he does. I'm really feeling for him and we don't even know him.
Tried everything that I was.
Did the ISA do this to him on purpose? Did they test their machine on him?
Strongest.
I'm so sorry.
He murdered him?
I remember who Stargirl is.
Oh no, I was hoping they got interrupted in time.
Her name's Courtney Whitmore.
And her mum was here.
To go kill them.
Jordan is conflicted because his son likes Courtney and he likes Barbara and it's all very messy.
When my son died, I felt my powers grow, as if I'd absorbed his into mine. It won't be 6 states.
Can't wait to see
I
Brainwave die.
reprogram. It will be half of the country.
It's not the UK.
Everything you
I know by now I'm like a stranger to you,
Why didn't you show up for Christmas?
but I would like to.
Yeah.
Oh, Courtney. It's too easy to fall for manipulative dads. I don't trust this man.
Remember who you are.
I need Justin to remember. Because when Courtney was in danger, he grabbed the sword.
Trying so hard. Excalibur.
Yeah.
King Arthur himself
He's very old then.
bestowed to me
Very, very old.
his sword upon his deathbed. He told me they stole my identity from me.
They did.
They'll do it to us all. That's what they want. Whoa.
It is what they
They
want.
will.
I hate this man already because he's not once explained where he was and why he wasn't with her. On business trips. Cool.
So these lockets, they
What does he want from it?
were made by fancy designer back in the day.
Oh, he wants to sell the
Old-time
lockets.
jeweler.
Yep,
If I
he couldn't
sold
tell us
them,
about
then I
Courtney.
could put a deposit down.
He doesn't care about you.
And then when I'm settled in,
It was clear from the way he was
Then
acting
live
that he was a
my
dick.
place now it's like a shoebox. It's bare.
Don't give it to him. Don't wear it anymore. Don't give it to him.
Back, Courtney.
She doesn't care. She shouldn't care.
And,
She will because it's only human, but you
when
are
I
a
am-
piece of shit.
I really.
Because he not once bothered explaining where that's a cool shop, where he'd been all this time and why he hadn't seen her. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I wouldn't have given him the necklace out of spite.
I can take it, okay?
Because he's your dad. She just wants a hug. I'm sorry, Courtney. Why do so many fathers suck?
Don't ever come back here.
All right. I wasn't planning on a tough guy.
Okay.
Oh, I
Hey,
hate this
tell
man.
Barbara I said bye. She still looks good. Not as good as when I had her.
He deserved that. I'm against punches because one punch can kill, but he deserved
You're
that.
lucky I'm busy.
Oh yeah. I want to punch that man. Again, against punches. I mean, my punches would not kill anyone. I'm very weak. Courtney, that staff chose you for you, not because of who your dad was, but because of who you are. And you are everything your mum helped you be. But it's easy to be swept up in a fairy tale of, oh, all that pain of my dad not caring about me, not being in my life doesn't
I'm
matter.
sorry.
Because he was dead, because he was
I
too
shouldn't have reached out
glorious.
to him.
Is it because she doesn't believe in herself anymore? Courtney, the staff wasn't only working because it thought you were Starman's daughter.
Restore it for me.
Starman. Is Jordan evil? Told her she shouldn't have been on her work computer. So he was hoping that she had no idea. But she knows. Oh, my babies.
I'm not Stargirl.
Yes, you are.
No.
You are,
I'm
listen
not
to
Beth.
them.
Because the staff won't work for me anymore, okay?
But it worked for you before and you never have been biologically Stargirl, like Starman's daughter.
Why not?
Because you don't
It knows
believe.
I'm not Starman for sure.
Sweetheart, it chose you.
It was my fault.
It chose you before you'd ever even heard of Starman.
It was
To introduce the man who knew him best.
His dad, oh god.
Henry's father.
Oh my god, my
Dr.
children.
Thank you.
This man has the nerve. And he knows who Courtney is as well, so he's here to antagonise.
Accident.
What's his plan here?
Sometimes things, no one is to blame. Except you. Come after us, please.
Courtney, he is to blame. You didn't murder anyone. When it came down to himself or his own child, he could have done nothing.
And we've remembered who I am.
Okay, we gotta get out of here.
Come on!
Oh.
Doesn't want me.
Court, that's just not true.
Yes, it is. The staff
Because you
chose me
don't
because they
believe
thought
in
I was someone
yourself.
else.
Because
The
you
staff
don't.
didn't choose you because of who your father is.
Because you
or
don't
isn't.
believe you deserve
It knows
it.
all of my
I
mistakes.
know a lot about the staff. It's always known more than I did
Yep.
about almost everything.
The staff is the MVP of the show.
Think about that.
Well, we pack because the ISA knows who you are. If they can like kidnap Mike, and then he'll find out the hard way.
I need you with me.
Oh,
Both of you.
oh, we're parents. You've got this, Courtney, for you, and because of you, you're worthy. You've got this, sweetheart. I love this. Ooh. I was like Mike for a minute. I was like, oh no, finally.
Our queen has risen.
Yeah, pretty much what just happened.
The boy too. Mike. We can't leave a legacy running around.
Wonderful.
Of course.
Oh dear. Because Mike is 100% clueless. At least maybe now we found out. See, Jordan is almost worse than Henry because Henry is just remorseless. Henry just will do whatever it takes, whereas Jordan knows what's right. Jordan knows what's wrong. Oh dear. And, like, if they're literally about to brainwash the whole population, what does it matter? They're not gonna, like... I know it's because they're gonna stop them, but... Another brilliant episode. See, Jordan is almost the worst villain than Henry because villains like Henry and the Snake Man, Snake King, Dragon King, they are just evil in a sense that, like, they know they're just doing what they're doing, they know it's wrong, but they're just, you know, no, humanity doesn't, everyone should become snake minions. Oh, humanity's evil, I'm gonna kill everyone including my own son, although I'm still praying that he's not dead. I don't know, it seems very dead at this stage. Kind of, he's just evil. He doesn't care. He lost his soul long ago if he ever had one, whereas Jordan has goodness in him. Jordan is able to not want Courtney to die because it would affect Barbara. Jordan is able to want his son to have a nice, normal, happy life, to let him be soft and into art and want to go on a date with a girl. Like, you know, he's not kind of doing the dragon thing of trying to make his daughter into a little assassin. He's not doing the brainwave thing of being a toxic parent to his son and trying to force him to reveal he has his powers, even though I do feel like when Cameron blew out his cake, or the candle, the cake, it looked a little bit like ice breath. But because he's got that goodness, it makes him the most compelling villain on the show for me, because he is just so frustrating because you know he can see goodness, and he is one of those villains that believes that he's doing this for good. You know, you can see on Henry that Henry doesn't think he's doing this for good. Henry just thinks, lol, it's gonna be fun, people suck, I might as well control them. And in that sense, maybe he thinks it's for good, but he knows it's a bad thing to do. Whereas Jordan is like, oh no, if you mind control people and take away their memories and change who their personality is, they're never the same. Please do it to half the country. So yeah, Jordan is definitely a very compelling villain, but also, like, I hate him. I'm still stressed in general about the whole, what on earth's gonna happen. In 2 episodes left, we've got Brainwave off to murder Courtney and her entire family. We've got Yolanda mourning Henry. She doesn't meet in this episode very much. Shining Knight is around. He'll help protect the family, I suppose, because he's there. And then 12 hours to stop everything, or break the machine, and then going into the next season, if we don't kill people like Ice Cool and Head Brainwave, then we're gonna have them running around knowing who Stargirl is, so she's never gonna be safe. Like, I genuinely don't know where the show's gonna go. I know it's been renewed for season 2, but I genuinely don't. This show could go anywhere. And then you've got the Cameron equation, because from what we've seen, he just seems like a nice, sweet boy who I think, oh, he'd be good for Courtney. You know, like, all their children, they'd be happy together for now while they're babies. But what is his reaction to everything going to be when he finds out the truth? Is he going to be... I don't think he'll be like, we're joining my dad, but what if he finds... Like, just how involved is he? Mike? Ugh, it's a lot. So I genuinely, the final episode could do anything. Obviously, a part of it is going to be them escaping Brainwave when he tries to kill them. obviously part of it is going to be them trying to stop the countdown. And again, this show could have a cliffhanger at the end of the season, or it could have a rounded off season because they weren't sure if they were going to get another one. I hope it's the latter. I hope it's rounded off, but obviously with threads that aren't completely tied off, because I find that more satisfying than a huge wait. But oh, it's so good. And I think this episode was good in finally not making us wait seasons and seasons for the answer on Courtney's father, because I was never convinced it was Starman. I kind of started going along with it for Courtney's sake because she was so into it. Poor old Henry thought he had a cousin when he died. But it was never very realistic. Like the sheer coincidence that Pat would end up with like Starman's ex was too much for me as a coincidence. But Pat ending up being stepfather to a girl worthy of the staff. I forgot the staff's name. I am a fraud. I'm sorry, staff, you're my favourite still. Is more realistic, because I imagine there is more than one person in the entire world right now who the staff would be worthy of the staff. There's not hundreds of them, but you know, they are scattered around. And you know, maybe destiny will kind of draw people together, but I think this episode was both questioning because Courtney truly lost that dream. Like, she kind of lost it last episode when Barbara was like, no, that's not your dad. But she was faced with the reality that no, her dad just sucked, and on top of everything he showed up and just wanted money from her, and just what a dick, what an absolute dick. And the way he was acting was very manipulative. You know, he never once really gave a good explanation for where he was and why he was gone, but he said all the right things. You know, he got a bit teary-eyed at one point, and you know, he said all of the, oh, you know, I wish I was in your life, and what could I do that was better, and you know, followed it up with 0 actions that counted on it. I mean, I have experience with crappy dads like that. Mine pretends he's still around all the time, it's great. But they did it well in the sense that, like, yeah, okay, her dad was very much a stereotypical gross dad, but while my situation with my dad is different to that one, there were ways that he was talking and she was reacting to it that I was like, I've sat there. I've been in this conversation. I've lived this moment. It was kind of hard to watch in a way. Even though, like, you know, the situations are not the same. I think it was realistic. And I think it's good that in this show, it's not like men are evil, as much as I will like see her biological father and be like, men suck. Because you've got Pat, who is steadfast and just there for Courtney, and he was there to get, like, you know, if you want to scream at me, that's cool, let it out. I do have reservations about Mike and Pat, but I understand it as well. I know being a parent isn't easy. I think he's been trying a bit more recently, but definitely ever since Courtney found the staff, he has been very much just leaving Mike to it. And I know Mike is on the cusp of being like, I don't know how old Mike is small, but he's not as small as he could be. That is how old I think Mike is. So he's not grown up enough to be kind of left to his own devices by any means. And the way Mike acts and talks about it kind of seems like they've been a team, and that Mike's taken a little bit of the emotional baggage of their family and a little bit of the emotional partnership, when he is A, far too young, and B, the child should never do that. So I love, as much as I think that like Mike being part of the family, you know, Mike is growing on me, you know, I can see past his irritatingness because he's a child. I do feel really bad for him when Pat was like shouting at him to get out or whatever, and then obviously Pat realised what he'd done and then was like, you know, and tried to be a good parent. You know, I do not hate Pat or think he's been a terrible parent, Mike, but I do think that there have been times, for instance, like this episode, when he could see that Mike wasn't convinced by what he said. He could see that Mike was freaking out that his newfound family was going to be destroyed. He could see that Mike was aware that everyone else in the family knew lots of secrets that he didn't know and was not doing okay. And okay, yeah, they were really busy in that moment, which I completely understand. But I don't know, I just hope that Pat is very on that. And, you know, hypothetically speaking, if nothing bad was about to happen, was ready to talk to Mike about it and kind of like be there for him. But to be honest, if Barbara knows and Courtney knows and Pat knows, maybe it's safest, especially now they know that the bad guys know who they are, to sit Mike down and explain it all to him, so that he knows that if that nice man that came for dinner walks up to you on the street, you turn away and run, you know. I think maybe it's reached the point where Mike would be safer knowing than not knowing, and I'm kind of having a feeling that if he finds out in the next episodes, it will not be by being told, it will be by being kidnapped or attacked or whatever. So that's kind of stressful, but I think in a way it is realistic, because as much as in like earlier episodes I genuinely was getting frustrated with how Pat was like being like, oh no, Mike, don't do that. Oh, you've done that. Oh, well, never mind. That was just bad parenting. But like in this situation, I can totally understand it because he is currently, they are all in this overwhelming situation. How do you cope with it? Like a kid has just died. The bad guys know who you are. Their mission is happening. You know, too much is happening. Courtney's dad coming back into the picture. I completely understand why in this episode, Pat was not able to be the perfect parent to Mike, but he did do his best. But I am just stressed for Mike going forward. And I think Barbara has really surprised me. Well, not surprised me because she did seem great, but I'm really pleased that they haven't tried to have, like, I was genuinely at one point terrified they were going to try and make her have an affair with Jordan because I was like, my god, no. But I mean, I was always a bit hopeful they wouldn't. It was quite clear that Jordan liked her, but obviously that's not having an affair because even if she kind of was like, oh, in another life maybe I'll be with him, you know, she was very much aware with Pat. And I like that when she saw Pat comforting Courtney and being there for Courtney, that she liked that and that she was happy Courtney had that, and that is a totally good response, a human response. But she has taken this whole superhero thing very well. Now again, the thing that I would struggle with and that once the drama died down I would have to work on with Pat is the fact that he kept it from me. And I do think that maybe Pat saying, well, I was going to tell you right before the dinner would help, but he should have told her a lot sooner than he did. And yeah, so I'm glad that she is on board and that she's, because it's something that I was saying that I didn't think she would ultimately be completely against Courtney being a superhero if it's what Courtney wanted, if she could make sure Courtney was doing it as safely as possible. You know, Courtney is still a little too young, but at the same time, she's getting to the age where you have to let your children fly. You know, help them, give them all the support you can to make sure they fly safely. But if you constantly wrap them in cotton wool, they're not going to have good, fulfilled lives. So I think it's interesting to kind of see the way that she's quite quickly come around on Pat, which I still think that, like, they need to talk about how, like, I'm sorry, if in the future there is a secret about my daughter, you tell me. You can, like, say to Courtney, I'm going to go and tell your mum now. Like, I'm not saying a lie to the child, but you tell me. But I'm glad that she's coming around to it and that she found the information and that she's very much team Stargirl. Team JSA. I can't believe my brain is really tired today, I'm sorry. So I am obviously stressed. Now, it's quite good that the bad guys don't currently know the identity of the other kids, although given that Courtney spends time with literally 3 children, and they have the same physical descriptions as the 3 people she fights with, it's probably quite obvious who they are, but they technically don't know, so they are at least a little bit safe for now and maybe can help. But I'm so excited for the final 2 episodes, and I have no idea what's going to I have no idea what's going to happen, and bearing in mind, like, I have said, like, I know some things that will happen, but how they're going to happen and what pacing is going to be, I'm just so intrigued. And yeah, I'm loving this show so much. So yeah, if you would like to watch the unedited version of this reaction, please check out my Patreon, and thank you for watching.